Hey, hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. And as usual, the start has been amazing. At the beginning of the video, my slides, just went on to the thank you screen as it always happens. So yeah, I mean that's a good start because I like starting things with such glitches so that I don't know, it gives me some kind of a confidence that the rest of the stream is going to go good. We already have viewers here. Hey, Startup Sanatan. Thanks for stopping by. We haven't had a chat lately. What are you working on these days? I just saw a post by you today, a tweet by you about AI. So would love to know if you're doing some interesting stuff in the AI space. And yeah, that would be really good to know. Also, before we start with the development or any sort of serious stuff, just a small thing. My OBS and my YouTube Studio for some reason keep showing me that the bitrate is not good enough. So if to increase the quality of the stream, I've just made a few changes. So I won't be able to see the quality directly. So if anything goes bad, or the stream is buffering or anything, just let me know in the chat because I'll be reading the chat, but my OBS would be minimized. So yeah, I would not be able to see the messages on OBS. Hey Shubham, how are you today? Um, Today's topic is actually we are going to discuss about how to make a video player skill using APL. And if you guys have been developing Alexa skills, by now you guys must be familiar with APL, I believe, because you're not just relying on this stream to learn, I believe, and you're going through several other documents from Amazon as well. So APL is something that whenever we talk about screen and screen first in that matter, so we include APL for that because when we talk about just voice only interactions and voice first, we only talk about the headless devices. And if you see the numbers also, you will see that the headless devices are pretty large in number. Like the best selling device is the Echo Dot, the third edition or the fourth edition which has come out now. But devices with screens are also becoming popular day by day. And if you see the Fire TV, I think in India specifically, the Fire TV is a very good example that you have a screen as well as you have a voice control because the mic is right there in the remote. And I've seen people, including me, I use that feature a lot where I just press the mic button and just take the name of my favorite show, and that gets fetched and the results are shown on the screen. So it's a good match of voice first and screen first stuff. So I really enjoy this this mixture, and when you can use the best of both worlds. So today we'll be seeing how you can actually make a video player using APL. There's also another method to make videos work, but I somehow feel that that method is really outdated. That's using the video player intent that is available as a built-in intent, I guess. And also, yeah, like those are some guidelines which were released pretty initially. And if you check out, there is a video on our channel which is made by Steve, and it shows you how to make videos work using the conventional technique. But since I thought everything now is being moved to APL for screen-based devices, and it has somehow now become the standard, so I thought it would be better to make a video playing skill using APL. Right. So I'll start with the with the development process, and let's see how it goes. This stream would be a fairly short one because in my last stream when I actually rewatched the stream, I thought it sometimes it becomes a bit longer and can be boring if there is just theoretical stuff and not much practicality there. So I'm trying to experiment something or the other in every stream of mine. So let's see if you viewers enjoy this one. So let me just change my screen to the browser, and I believe the browser is now visible. Yeah, so I'll now minimize my OBS and get started with it. So like every other live stream, in this live stream also we'll be using a template, and this template is also a free one, uh, which is provided by Dabble Lab. So all you need to do is simply go to github.com/Dabble Lab, and if you go there, you can simply search for, like, right now this one is at the top, but if you're watching this video at a later time, so all you simply need to do is just type in number 54 here, because this is template number 54, and you'll be able to see this template. Hey Oliver, good to see you here. So we have some new viewers, and I think I've seen Oliver around before. I don't know if he was there in my stream, or one of Sohini's stream, or Karthik's stream, because I also keep watching Jeff, Karthik, all of those guys on Twitch, and even Sohini's stream. So I really don't know where I've seen Oliver before, but I'm pretty sure I've seen him before. Yeah. So continuing with this, so we are going to be using this particular template, which is the template number 54, the Python Alexa APL video player example. And to use this template, let's just go back to our Alexa developer console. For those of you who are not familiar with the Alexa developer console, so this is the place where you actually start with if you are trying to build Alexa skills. I would recommend, if you're new, you go and check out some of my earlier streams and some of the other videos that are available on our channel, so that you get more familiar with the whole Alexa development stuff. And if you're already familiar, then you know about this. So I'll increase the size of the font. I think now it's good enough. So let's start with the skill development process. I'll click on create skill, and we'll give the skill a name. The name really doesn't matter, because I think it will be replaced by the name that we've given our template, but I'll still name it template 54. And the good news is that starting today, from this template onwards, all the new templates that come out for Python and all the old templates that we are supporting, I'll be updating all of them to support all the languages. So if you're watching this stream and trying to implement it, you don't need to just rely on the languages, the English US language, as I used to tell you guys before, that you can only use English US. So there is no such issue from the templates from here on. So you can use all the top 5 English languages that you see right here. If you use English India, US, AU, CA, it shouldn't be a problem. The only problem that I faced was that if I use the same invocation name for all these English languages, then for some reason the skill only gets invoked in the US region and not in the other regions. To get it to work, I have to change the name, which I didn't really like. But anyways, we'll figure that out when we're trying to publish a skill. Right now I'm not trying to publish it, so I'm not much concerned about it. And also please like the video if you're watching it. If you like the video, it actually tells YouTube to that people are liking it and people are watching it, so it shows the video as a recommendation to more and more people, which really helps to get the live stream available to more people. So I would really appreciate if you guys can like the stream if you're watching right now. Let's carry on. So the next the model of the skill would be custom. Even though there is a video model available here, but as I told you, we are not going to be using the conventional model, so I'm not selecting video from here, but instead what I'll be selecting is custom. And after custom, I select Alexa hosted using Python, and I click on create skill. When you reach the second page, you'll see these templates which are already available, but we are not going to be using these templates. Instead, we are going to be using our own template. So let me go back to our GitHub page, and from here, just go to code and copy the link for the HTTPS link for this template. and just paste it right here and click on import. Now the deployment process will start, and within a few minutes our entire skill will be deployed. So what else would you see in the stream, or what should you expect from this skill? As I told you before, this is the basic skill. So it supports video playback and pause features. So you can anytime you can give a command to the skill to play or pause, as well as you can stream videos using an HTTPS URL if that URL is a public one. And you can also I'll be showing you how you can upload videos on S3 and use them if you don't want to make your videos public, or if you don't have a public hosting to host your videos. So you can use this technique, and you will be good to go. I won't be covering the advanced features next, previous, toggle on, toggle off, and all of that. And the reason for that is that we have built a premium template for which contains all of these features, which is a full-fledged skill, and it offers a lot more than the skill that we've deployed right now, which is the free version of it. So if you are building such a video skill and you want to add more features to it, so feel free to contact me, Sohini, or Steve, any of us. You can contact us via our Twitter handles, via the website, or any other place. Just message us wherever you find us, and we'll be happy to help. Soon we'll also be launching a platform wherein you can see all of our premium templates in one place. So I think once that becomes available, it will be a lot easier. Yeah, so let's continue with the skill. Now the skill is deployed. I can see that you guys are actually not listening to me, and the number of likes is just one. You know, one like. Really, am I doing that bad? That you're not even liking the stream. Please just go ahead and like it, and don't just move away just because I asked you to like the stream. Ideally what you should be doing is just liking it. So yeah, do that while I move on and I show you what this skill does. So let's start with the test console straight away and see, once deployed, how will the skill function. I'll select development from here, and yeah, I'll simply write open template 54. Sorry, I'll just reload it again because the part showing the APL was down there. So if you are working with APL, then make sure that you scroll up and you scroll down to this part. So over here you can select different types of devices which would show you how your particular template will look on different devices. I'll get to all of that, all the technicalities of APL in a bit, but let's just see, when you're using this template, what should you be expecting and what are you exactly getting. So in this particular video, there's no audio, so you must not be listening to anything. But yeah, here is how the video will look like on a screen, and there are on-screen navigation options like the play and pause button, and as well as there is a next and previous button. Uh, Apart from that, like you can give commands, like right now it's paused. Okay, so I don't know for what reason it paused. I think the video ended or something, but let's try giving it the play command. So as soon as I give it the play command, the video starts playing, and if I say pause, the video will pause. Right? Pretty basic. Now let's see how this is exactly functioning, and how is this these functionalities achieved, and what all can you do with this template. So let's go to the code section, and I'll start with the very basics, right? Like when you talk about APL, then what are the different things that we need to take care of, and how is APL different from a regular command that we send or that we use? So APL is different because in it you also use the screen, right? So in order to use the screen, you don't just need to specify what speech output Alexa needs to have, like what's the exact output in terms of wordings or in terms of speech, but also you need to know, or you need to tell Alexa what to display on the screen, right? So in order to do that, we'll have to use some new functions. Those functions will have a particular format, and in that format we'll be passing on documents which will be in JSON format, and those documents will actually tell Alexa how exactly to show what exactly to show on the screen, right? So let's just proceed and see what all do we have in the code. Right at the top where we are importing things, apart from the usual stuff, you will see that we have this new line right here, which is that we are importing two new functions, which is the render document directive and the execute documents directive. And both these functions are used for APL to perform different tasks. One of them is used, the render document directive is used when you only want to render a particular directive. By rendering, I mean that you only want to display a particular document on the screen. And the execute commands directive, it is used when you don't want to change what is there on the screen. You don't really want to change the document which is being displayed on the screen, but you just want to make some tweaks, make some changes to it, or just send a command. So that is where we'll be using the execute commands directive. Apart from this, I have also made another Python file which is called the utils.py, and it contains a lot of necessary functions. So if you've used the hello world template before, so that hello world template contains this utils.py, and it contains a few functions. We've also added some other functions of our own. So as you can see here, one function that we'll be using is load JSON from path. The other one is create all video playlist. And the third one that some of you might be familiar with is the create pre-signed URL. So yeah, this is all in terms of importing stuff. And as we use them down below, I'll let you know which thing is used for what. So here at the top is a small function which defines our playlist. So it does nothing but simply anytime this function is called, it returns this array or this list, and this is a list of dictionaries where each dictionary element or each object over here represents one video stream. So for each video stream we need to have three things, which is the URL of the stream, the title of the stream, and the subtitle of the stream. Once you have these three things and you pass on these things, it will be automatically displayed on the screen. Just to show you, the video URL is the video which is being played. This, as you see on the top, video 1 title, this is the title that we have passed on here, and you can see that you clearly see the title in a larger font over here, and this is the subtitle. So it is same as what you've defined over here. Now let's come to the launch request function, which is the first function that is being called upon. So when you launch the skill, it comes to this function, and we don't have anything here like in the streams before. You must have seen that we have different kinds of responses for speak, for reprompt, and all of that. But just to keep it really basic, I've removed all of those. It contains no speech outputs at all, and all it contains is a video directive. So the video directive is defined over here. Inside the video directive, it's nothing but we are calling the render document directive function that I showed you above, which we have imported from the Alexa SDK. And this particular directive, it requires three things. The first one is the token, which is just, you can say, a unique ID. So you can keep the token as anything. Since it's a video player example, I've just kept the token as video player. The next thing is the document, and here I've used a function which is called the load JSON from path. I'll show you this function. This is a pretty basic function. You can see here it does nothing but simply the path that you specify, it opens the file which is there in that path and loads that file as as a JSON and returns it back to our function. So yeah, when you call this function over here, basically a JSON file is then fetched and passed as a document. Okay, so now we have the token and we have the document which we have to display on the screen. What else do we need? We need a data source, and the data source is nothing but imagine it this way, that what you need to display on the screen is fixed, right? That's the template of it. Like there'll be a video and there'll be 3 buttons at the bottom. All of that is a template. But what's really changing here is the title, the subtitle, and the URL. The same 3 things that we have passed on in the playlist value here. So these are the things which are actually changing, right? So these 3 things will be sent as separately as a data source, so that in our template these values can be changed based on which values we are passing from our code. So basically this code remains the same. Whatever JSON file it's sending from here, this remains the same, but this data source, it can keep changing. And let's see what are we passing as the data source. As the data source, we are just calling this function, which is called the create all video playlist function, and the parameter that the argument that we are passing with it is this. We are just calling the playlist function here. So when you call the playlist function, you get this list as a return item. So basically you are now sending this list as an argument to the create all video playlist function. All right, so when you pass on that, what does exactly happen? Let's go to the create all video playlist function, which is right here, and as you can see here, this is what's going to be our data source, or yeah, this is going to be our data source, right? The data source that we are passing. So in this data source, what we have is the name of the data source is video player data. The type is object, and inside the properties we have a property which is called playlist, and it is inside this playlist property that we'll be passing the list of the video files that I showed you before. So that particular list, which we are passing it as an argument, it will then be passed upon in the properties argument, and then this whole this whole JSON, you can say, this will be passed on. This whole JSON will be passed back as a data source. So yeah, now that we have all the 3 things sorted, once you send this stuff, it tells it sends a particular directive to Alexa, which tells it that display this particular template, and in that the data source is this. So fetch whatever details you have from the data source and display it on the screen. To make this the last part that we need to handle to make send this directive is another function, you can say, that we use here inside the response builder, which is the add directive function. So before this we have been using the functions, the speech function, or the output function, the ask function. If you're using card, we are using the set card function and all of that. So here we are using a add directive function. And inside the add directive function, we just need to pass on this video directive that we've just created here. So once you pass that, the result will be displayed on the screen. I mean, if you have any questions like anywhere in between, or even if you're watching this stream at a later time when it's not live, if you have any questions, just feel free to ask them in the comment section below, and we'll try and answer as many questions as we can. So I'll move on to this. I hope I've made it clear that how exactly is the first part working. Like when you give the launch command to the skill, then this particular function is being called, and this is how this is this skill is functioning. Let me also show you the APL document that we are using here. So this is the APL document, and if this seems confusing or pretty like a big file to you, then don't worry about it. Even I don't understand the complete JSON file, this APL document right now. So I can tell you that there's nothing to worry about actually. And the reason I say that is because we today we have many options available from where you can take help from, and there are several people who are actually masters in APL, and they are just offering some stuff for free, and you can make use of that. So this is one such example, and I'll show you where I got it from. So when I was trying to build this skill, what I tried to do, I tried to search for some APL documents, and I'll be going to share with you the process of it, so that even even you, if you want to do it, then you can try that out. So the first thing is uh, the best place I find is Twitter, because there are a lot of voice enthusiasts on Twitter, and some of the other day you keep on coming across some really good stuff. So from there I came across somebody's work, and I followed it, and I stumbled upon this particular APL template that we are using here. So I'll show you a cool website which you can also use to get all these templates from, which is the apl.ninja. And you'll see a lot of known faces in the Alexa community, like Daniel Mittendorf, Alexander Martin, which who are well known and who keep on posting these APL templates on Twitter, and they keep dropping this stuff, and it's free to use. I mean, there is a lot of stuff available on this website, and all of these templates are really free to use. All you need to do is just get the APL document, connect it with your backend. You will have to do a lot of what do you say, handling the backend code and all of that, but I believe that is an easier part as compared to designing this whole APL template. So as I told you, when I was looking for templates, I stumbled upon a template by Daniel Mittendorf, and this is that particular template. But the issue was that when I was trying to get this template to work, I wasn't actually able to get it to work somehow for some reason. So I thought, let me not spend a lot of time trying to get this work, but instead what I can try is I can try some other template, right, which I can make work. So luckily, down below, if you see, there is there is a GitHub repo URL, and this URL, you can also find this URL in the description of this video if you want. So over here I could simply I found a skill which was pretty good, and it basically it is the, you can say, it is the base of what the template that I have built, because I've used a lot of things from here, including the APL document. So if you are a Node.js developer, then you can simply just copy this URL from here, and you can deploy this skill directly to your account, and this is a Node.js skill completely built with a lot more functionality than what I am offering through the Python version of it right now. But yeah, if you are a Node.js developer, then feel free to check this out. But if you're a Python developer, then you need to follow what I have done here. So I've taken reference from this particular skill, and you know uh, just created a Python version of this particular skill, you can say that. So since I've used this, I just wanted to give a shout out to the developer, and make sure you drop some comments here if you also use this skill, or any of his APL templates. I think that would be great. Okay, so let's move on. This was all about where I got the template from. But once you have the template in place, then you don't really need anything much, right? We've already got the skill to function, and the skill is now displaying, what do you call, the video on our Alexa device. Now what we need to do is we need to handle the play and pause command. Even if you don't handle the play and pause command over here with your code, the APL document is designed in such a way that you can simply by pressing the buttons on the screen, you can play and pause the document, sorry, play and pause the video, right? But since it's a voice first world and we are building something for a voice first device, we need to have that ease of access and offer voice functionality. So I went ahead and added those functionalities. As for an audio player skill, you must be familiar with the play intent handler or the pause intent handler. So nothing special here. I haven't created any custom intent. This is a default intent, which is the amazon.resume intent, and the other one I've used here for the pause action is amazon.pause intent. The way we have handled the resume intent is that instead of the render document directive that we saw above, which was used to display a particular APL document, over here we are using the execute commands directive, because there is already a document which is being displayed. We don't want to change stuff which is being displayed on the screen, but rather we don't want to change the whole document, but rather we'll just want to we want to change a few things with that document. So in this particular case, we just want to change the state of the video. So two things will change on the screen when we push a pause command. For example, when I say pause, then the icon that you see on the screen over here, this icon will change from pause to play. As you see, the video is paused right now. So these are the two changes that will happen. The first one is that the video will pause, as we can see. The second one is the icon will change. So since both of these things are done, and so yeah, so this is what exactly execute command does. And how do we do it? We pass on the same token that we used before, which is video player, and inside commands, the type of the command you pass is control media, the component ID is video player, and make sure the P over here is capital, and the command we are passing is play command. Now you'll ask me, how is this exactly functioning? We are just passing a keyword here, the play keyword, and how is it all functioning? So this everything that we are passing on here is actually handled in our APL document. So you don't need to worry about all of this. And if you go to that GitHub repo and see the Node.js code, you'll understand how all the other, you can also manage several different stuff as well apart from just play and pause. So similar to the play command, you will also see that there is inside the pause, we've not done anything much different here, but just change the command from play to pause. In the play command, we also have this additional additional command, which is the show overlay shortly, and it does a small thing that this is an overlay which you see over here, the title and this and these buttons. So it will just display these buttons for just a short duration of time, and then they will just vanish when you're just, say for example, 5 seconds into the video. So the same way, when you're watching a YouTube video, that stuff gets away. In the same manner, this will also get away. So yeah, in terms of handling different functions, this is all that we have in this particular skill. But the other part which remains, that we haven't seen till now, is how we can upload our own videos and use them instead of using videos from a public server. All right, so let me show you how you can do that, and also how you can add multiple videos. Right now we only have one video, right? So if I were to add another video to this, I simply have to make a copy of this and just paste it here. Make sure you add this comma so that these are treated as two separate objects inside this list. So for this, we will use a video that we'll be uploading. So how do I actually upload that video? You see this S3 storage right above over here. All you need to do is just click on the S3 storage button, and it will take you to your specified bucket on S3. If you're not familiar with S3, it is a service offered by AWS over where you can store your files. So you can say it is a cloud storage, it is a cloud storage service wherein you can just drop your files and you'll get a HTTPS URL for those objects, and then you can use them anywhere you like. So over here also, if if I just click on this particular object, you can see that S3 bucket is the bucket which is specified for your skill. You can't rename it, you can't change a lot of things about this bucket, and you need to use this particular name every time you want to use this bucket. But luckily you don't need to remember this name. There are methods which are available to fetch this name dynamically and then make operations. I'll show you how we have done that in our code. But if you're using media files, like we are using a video file in this example, right? Or we are using image files or MP3 files, all of those are kinds of media files. So what we need to do is we need to store them in the media folder, and if you just click on S3 from here, by default you are taken to this media folder. So as you see right now, this folder is empty. What we'll do is I'll go to testvideos.co.uk, and this is the website where you can find just some free test videos. And what we need to do is, we already have the big buck bunny video over there, right? So I'll actually choose a different video. They also have a jellyfish video. So what I'll do is I'll quickly download this jellyfish video. I'll just give the file a name like jellyfish.mp4, and I'll click on upload, add files, and just select the jellyfish file from here. Once you've done this, just click on the upload button, and the file would be uploaded onto your S3 server. So as you see, it shows successful, and you can see below, before this place was empty, but now we see a file named jellyfish.mp4, and it shows us the type that this is a video file. Its size is 1 MB and its status was successful. Now we have the file in place. Let's try and access this file, and let's see what happens when we try and access this file. So if you just this is the URL for this particular file, and if I just copy this and paste it in my browser, So you'll see that you don't really see you can't really access the file after it's being uploaded to your S3 server. And the reason for that is that this file is not public yet, and since this is a private file, you can't access it directly just by using the URL. You need to do certain different you need to use a different method in order to actually access this file. So that method is called accessing a file through signed URLs, and we have used that method in our skill, and I'll just show you how exactly does that thing work. But it's important to understand that by default these files, all the files that you upload onto your S3 server, are not public. And there's an important thing to note here, that if you're not interested in all of this S3 not S3 exactly, signed URLs and making URLs private and all of that stuff, and you are not concerned about that, and you want to use public URLs, and if you have a AWS account, you can actually do it in a simpler manner by just going to any creating a new S3 bucket on AWS, uploading files over there like we did, and directly right clicking on the files and making them public. Because on S3 you have more control over what you can do with those files. So if I try and right click on this file and try to do stuff, I don't get those options. I can't make this file public by doing anything, because this is using an instance of S3 specially designed for Alexa hosted skills. So there are few limitations of this kind. But yeah, since we already have the file uploaded here, let's see how we can access the file through the skill. So over here inside our playlist, I'm going to be using a function which is called the create pre-signed URL function, and as you can see above, it is defined in our utils file, and I have actually imported this beforehand. So this function takes the path of the file as a parameter. So for the path, we know that it's inside the media folder, right? It's inside the media folder right here, and I'll just say media slash jellyfish.mp4. So you just need to specify the name of the file followed by media. Once you do that, you can change the title and give it a particular title, like I will name it the jellyfish video, and just a random subtitle. So I'm just changing it to show you that it really works. So I'll just save this file and I'll deploy it. So now you might wonder that how am I going to show you this particular file. There are two files in this playlist, but we don't really support the next or the previous functions. Well, if my assumptions are correct, then all of those functionalities, to handle them through audio, you will have to make changes to this particular to your Lambda function. But if you just want to access them through the test console, or through by touching on your device, so it shouldn't be an issue and you don't need to do anything special. Let's just test out this theory. We'll get to know that in a minute. Yeah, so too much of talking I think today as well, but what do? You guys don't really talk much in the chat. So all I do is just keep speaking like a one-sided radio kind of a thing. I don't enjoy it much, frankly. If I tell you, I enjoy a two-sided conversation. That's the reason I'm looking into Clubhouse. Have you guys heard that Clubhouse is a new platform which is audio only, and apparently it's quite popular. It's actually invite only, which makes things I think it makes things really popular if they are good, really fast. The same way it happened for OnePlus. OnePlus was invite only, and a lot of these tactics work for OnePlus. So yeah, the skill is now deployed. Let's just check it out. But yeah, if you guys also on Clubhouse, just let me know. I'm actually trying to get hold of an iPhone, because right now it only works on iOS devices and I don't have one. But hopefully I'll have one by the end of the week, and then if you are on Clubhouse, I'll see you there. I've heard a lot of interesting people are there actually, so would be good to see what we can do over there, and what interactions take place over there. Excited about it. Let's see how it goes. So let's try and fire up the skill again. And as you can see, the skill has fired up. I'll just try to bring in the next, play the next command. Okay. I guess my assumptions were a bit wrong, and it doesn't actually just play the other one. So if I don't handle the next or the previous functions, it won't actually change to the other video. Okay, if you want to get that work, you can, as I told you before, you can buy our premium template. Startup Sanatan says, please be on YouTube also. Hey, yeah, for sure. We are not moving away from YouTube. We are here for sure. We are here. We've been here for for a long time now. So don't worry about that. But Clubhouse is something which is voice first, really picking up. So we thought, it's like expansion. We are not moving away from YouTube, but we will be trying out Clubhouse, and if we can have some fun discussions here, what's bad in that? And yeah, Shubham, you, who knows it better than you. We've experienced some of the other issues in every other stream, and somehow I end up feeling like a noob at the end of these streams, because whenever I make an assumption, for some reason it goes wrong. I don't know how. And also I have a weird habit of just making some last minute changes to the code just before the stream, and that just a few things don't really work whenever that happens. But anyways, so I was trying to display how you can use files which have been uploaded to S3. So I've deleted the first one, and let's try and give you a taste of that. We can get into the next and previous commands some other day. And if you are, like, as I told you before, if you are watching it at any point of time, and you want to get an advanced version of this skill, then it is available as a paid template, and all you need to do is contact me, which is Rahul, Sohini, or Steve from Dabble Labs. Just send us, or contact us via Twitter, LinkedIn, our website, any other place that you can feel comfortable with. Just contact us there, and we'll guide you towards the process of buying the premium templates. Yeah, Startup Sanatan says he's really a bit occupied in other startup related work. I can understand, you're a busy man, but really, I'm really thankful that you could stop by, and just keep coming here whenever you can, and just interacting with us. It really feels good. And as always, really thanks a lot uh, for coming here. You say that the time is clashing. I was actually wondering if is the time that I stream really an issue? And do you guys feel that I should be changing the time or the day? And if that is so, just let me know, like, if there is any other time which is more comfortable to you, because I try to stream at a time which is comfortable for several time zones, like for India, for UK, and the US. I know we don't have such a large audience at this point of time, but eventually, the whole idea is to keep grinding till the time we get an audience for these live streams. So it's just, I'm just dabbling with these trying to understand what the audience really wants, what I really want, what the company really wants, and trying to get at a common point which is beneficial for all of us. So I'm open to recommendations. If you have any other time suggestions or day suggestions, feel free to let me know, and I'll be happy to change the time of these live streams. Also, Shubham, I read your previous message, so there's no there's no, what do you say, I just get lost on words somehow. So you retracted your message, but you said true that, and I read that. Just wanted to inform you of that. I don't know, this fumbling, I don't really like it. Okay. Yeah, I was trying to display how skill, we can fetch things from S3 and how do they work. So let's fire up the skill again and say open template 54. Yeah, voila, success. As you can see here, we were successfully able to fetch content from our S3 bucket and display it right here. So you can see the name has changed, and it's the name that we've given. The video has changed, and the video is being fetched from our S3 bucket. So I would actually call that a success. And not everything goes bad in our stream. Sometimes we do achieve what we are trying to do as we did with this one. So yeah, this is all that I wanted to show you. And if you want to, if you are trying to build a skill of your own, then this can be a very good way. The advantages that it offers, APL offers, is that this supports auto scaling. So this particular JSON template, it's well designed for the round ones, or things for these sizes, things for all sizes actually. So no matter what the dimension of your video are, or what the dimensions of your screen are, it will work well on any of the device. So yeah, if you are trying to build a video skill, then do try this template out and let me know if you like it, and if you would like me to make any modifications. Like one modification that came across to me at a later point, which was that I can actually add a pre-check to this whole skill, and the pre-check would be to check whether the device supports APL or not. So it can be a headless device as well, right? If I'm using this on an Echo Dot, for example, so that's a headless device, right? So this skill would fail because it wouldn't be able to send the APL directives. So for those kind of scenarios, what we are trying to do is, what we should be actually doing is having a check wherein before sending any APL commands, or at the launch of the skill itself, we just check whether this device supports APL or not, and if not, then we have another another response for that. Also, you can also add different speech and reprompt responses over here. It's not that they won't work. Simply the same way, just say .speak and add whatever string you want over here. This would ideally work and wouldn't cause any issue. So if you want to give a command like an opening speech and then play the video, you can do all of that. APL is really interesting and difficult also at the same point of time. So I'm thinking of going down this lane and exploring APL further. So you can see more APL tutorials and other videos coming out in the future. So yeah, let's see how this goes. Also, I've just gotten access to GPT-3 and I feel it's really interesting. So let's see what we can build with GPT-3. So yeah, watch out for, I'm just telling you that, so for our future videos, just watch out for those kind of topics. We're actually exploring what are the emerging tech topics that we can pick, and if we can integrate stuff with Alexa, then that's great. Otherwise, you'll get to learn something or the other, through our streams, as with this one. Yeah, Shubham, yeah, I'm equally happy as you are. Finally we could make this stuff work, and it didn't give us an error like always. Startup Sanatan says, what about the cost of storing videos on S3? So that's an interesting question actually. S3 can be costly, but if you're using Alexa hosted, you don't really need to worry about the costing, because what happens here is this uses the free tier, and if you cross the free tier, then the issue really arises, and then it becomes a problem. But till the time you are using things up to a certain limit, which for a personal use is good enough, then I don't think the S3, the server cost would be much of an issue. So yeah, if you experience higher costs for that, then there are alternates. Like you can host this to some other CDN, since this is just a video file, right? You can host this video file in some other CDN, and then use the public URLs to stream videos here and save some costs. I know a few friends of mine which have done that in the past, who were getting a lot of AWS bills, and they did that, and it did really help them to bring down the cost up to a very large extent. One interesting thing that I actually missed out upon was just, how do we create these pre-signed URLs? Nothing fancy here. This function comes from Amazon if you try to create the hello world skill. But this is interesting because what this does is, as I showed you before, that we are not able to access this URL publicly, and it will give you an error. But when we pass this through this function, what this does is it gets a signed version of that particular URL. So it does not look like this one. It looks a lot different from this one, but it has permissions for 60 into 60. So this is 60 seconds into 60 minutes, which is roughly around an hour, not roughly, like exactly an hour, right? So for 1 hour, this this particular video URL would be accessible. So if you're using a long video URL which is 1 hour long, so you don't need to worry that that will expire or something. You can just set the expiration time accordingly over here. The first one is the seconds, and the second one is the hour, or you can simply give the whole value as well. I just like to keep it the way that Amazon provided it. So yeah, that's that. And rest all of the things you don't need to worry about. S3 persistence region and all of this. This is just that it picks the bucket automatically, like when you're picking it up from the environment. So don't need to worry about picking the bucket name or the persistence region. All of that can be picked from the environment directly, and it's handled. So yeah, this was all that I had for this particular video. No matter how hard I try to keep these videos short, an hour is approximately how long that they end up being. But yeah, at the end, again, shout out to Daniel Mittendorf and the other developer, through which we were able to get this JSON APL document from. I hope you guys liked this video and enjoyed developing this skill with me. And if you like this video, then make sure to like this on YouTube. If you have any questions, then just comment down below. If you have any suggestions for our future streams, then do let us know. All our links to our social media handles are there in our description. That's all for today. Goodbye guys, and have a good day.